Hello, welcome to badatpad, when Aftersky me tries to beat endgame content. Today we are here for another collab tournament, not a collab, another ranking dungeon, and it is Gungho Collab's second tournament. They have two tournaments in the event. This is the second one. We just had the first one 2 weeks ago. And let's talk about it. So I have a milk tea here. Get ready to sit here and watch me talk about a ranking dungeon. So this ranking dungeon runs from this coming Monday for 1 week. They all run for 1 week. And let's see. Get monster exchange. Oh, you get rainbow event medals. So we do want to get 27%, or not, it's not exactly percent math wise, in the 27th percentile or higher, which means we want to beat a little more than 1/4 of the entire, community who plays this game. And then you'll get a rainbow event medal. Also, the crown is at 7%. It says so in this paragraph. Top 7 percentile receive a crown, and 27 get a event medal and other things. But the event medal is the best one. 25 stam, assists invalid. So we had an assist invalid one in the Sonya L tournament recently. This is another assist invalid. Meaning the weapon equips don't work, and also you can't use active skills of monsters you have assisted. Or stats, nothing from the assist. Let's take a look at the dungeon real quick, and I will show you what we have going for us with our teams. So the dungeon itself appears to be 6 floors, a very short dungeon. However, do not let that fool you. This dungeon is rough, particularly mainly because of the first floor. In fact, I think the first floor is probably the very worst thing about this entire dungeon. So it's bad because, well, let's take a look. Everything has several million HP, reasonable amount. The last floor, 13 million. That's not super high for us these days. But the very first floor has 2 preempts. Number 1 is a 99 cooldown. So it's like Hino, but he'll do it to you even if you, there's no resolve, oh, you hit me to resolve, so I'll delay you. No, it's a preemptive 99 turn cooldown, so none of your active skills are going to come up in this dungeon unless you stall, which you never want to do for ranking dungeon because you're trying to do as least turns as possible, fast time. And also, there's only 6 floors, so the only active skill that might ever come up might be one that is like a 5-turn cooldown or less. Yeah, so it's rough. But not only that, the second monster, this Curse of the Tree thing here, does a preemptive which makes 30x non-woods. I don't know. It doesn't explain it very well. It's going to make a full board of wood orbs and mortal poison orbs. Now, I actually couldn't tell you. I do know for a 7x6 board that it does make 12 mortal poison orbs exactly every time, and then every other time, or all the rest of the orbs are wood. I can't tell you what it is for 6x5 because everyone's using a 7x6 leader, or they did in Japan, for this dungeon, so I don't know how many mortal poisons it'll make if you are playing on a 6x5 board. But 7x6 board, it'll make you exactly 12 mortal poisons and woods. Now, this is problematic because you want to make as many combos as you can for getting a good score in a ranking dungeon, but also, you might die if you match them. So you want to match them away, but you're going to die if you do it. You can't convert them away because you have no active skills. So the only way you're going to deal with it, there's 2 ways, and we're going to talk about that when we get to the teams. Everything else in this dungeon, not so bad. Random skills, preempt of status shields, a couple of damaging ones, 99% gravity, a awoken skill bind on the last floor, it appears. And this guy also makes mortal poisons on the last floor. He makes lights, hearts, wood, mortal poison, and jammers. So that might be a good thing for you to, I guess a good place to start is that you're gonna, in terms of the first and last floors, you're gonna have to have a monster that has a wood attribute to kill, and a monster that has a light attribute to kill the last floor, without popping any active skills. So let's take a look at the teams we have. I actually have compiled a list here, a small list of some videos, and I'll leave, this is like the name of the dungeon in Japanese, I'll put that below. This is just what I sent back to myself way back in August, when this dungeon, I think, maybe first came around. I think it came out, actually, no. I looked at this dungeon before it came around in Japan. Or not before, after. A little bit after it came around in Japan. So, So here's a kind of a small list of some monsters. This is not a complete list I'm going to talk about. This is just what I emailed to myself, but let me hop into some and you'll kind of get a general flavor. The general flavor, by the way, is someone's Zeus versus this? Did they really? No, they didn't. Did they? I have to take a look at that. We'll look at that one first, because that's the most avant-garde one. I did not know this dungeon is Zeus versable. Oh, it's not the right dungeon. This is, oops, sorry, this is a Gungho one. Okay, I was like, Zeus verse worked with the last one, but he won't work with this one. Okay, Zeus verse won't work, because all the poison preempts and no active skills, you will not be able to do it. Nay XD, unless you know, you're not going to do it. So let's take a look. Basically, all the strategies revolve around a pairing with Diablos, all of them. The leaders you might use, let me list them off now. There's Base Nay, Yogg, the one with the recovery, the leader Yogg, King Brachys, and I believe those are the 3 popular strategies that I know of. There might be others, I just don't know them. So, this is a run. It's too loud in my ears. This is a run with Nay x Diablos. Now, the general strategy is... So, let me pause for a second. So he made there are exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 mortal poison orbs and a bunch of wood orbs. The general strategy is, because Base Nay has a recovery boost, or a high recovery in her leader skill, the strategy is to full match the board that you are given here, and then pray for a heart Skyfall, and you will heal yourself to full because she has great recovery. By the way, in case you don't know, because I did not know this before, her Base Nay's leader skill is, I believe it's ×8 damage. I spelled Nay wrong. I spelled it with an R. Nay. Cypher Dragon Caller Nay. I'm looking it up on Paddox on the side. She gives a boost to Dragonbound Dragon Callers, recovery ×3 and attack ×8 when Dragon Callers or Dragonbounds are in the same team. Now this person is using Pralinay. Other things you can, we'll keep going, we'll take a look. It's a small, it only has 1 sub because you want to do as few pings as possible. This guy's good and made a cascade pattern, and he did get the hard Skyfall, so this dungeon is going to be terrible to run because you basically have to pray for a hard Skyfall in the beginning for most strategies. And for the rest of them, you're just going to one-shot because this team is strong. It'll one-shot everything. And we'll fully watch this one and not fully watch some other ones. The rest of the dungeon, there's like no active popping, so really it's just a combo because you have no active skills. There's nothing else you can do. The reason why he brought Pralinay is for the last floor. Pralinay has double god, double devil killers, and it will deal with the last floor nicely. And let me actually check if it deals with any other floors. For gods, devils. No, just the last floor. There shouldn't be significant killers for any other floor. So, yeah. I guess we'll just watch the whole way through, watch this guy comboing. I just want to show you the last floor, just so you can see the mechanic of it. Overall, this dungeon's going to be pretty toxic-y. I'm not going to aim for a crown. I just kind of want to get, what do you call it, a event medal, because it's very RNG based. You know, half the runs you do, you may not get a hard Skyfall on that first floor, you might be screwed. And by the way, I probably, most likely, I'm going to use this method. Not sure. I'll show you one of the other methods and I'll decide later on, but this guy's good at comboing. Maybe we're using the other method. We'll see. I'll show you. So the actives does not matter active skill bind because no one can use actives anyways. You don't really need to bring the badge for that, even if you're running this low team. And as you're going to see, even with all the mortal poison matches, again, Base Nay's recovery is so good with the Dragonbound Dragoncaller team that it kills. So there's that. How much damage was that? I want to watch that back. Maybe it did barely enough. It's double god, so it should do alright. 1, 2, 3. So it did barely enough damage. Okay. I think it's 13,500,000 health. So this person went over by barely enough. That's okay. It did kill. You can probably, I don't know. So that's one strategy, and this was a crowning score, I believe. He said he got 0.1% from this. So, yeah. Let me show you some of the other potential teams. Kind of in the same vein. Why did I put the Prowley one twice? Did I really put that twice? Oh, it's the same video. Is it the same video? Oh no, it's a different video. Same video. Let me leave that. Another one that works, as I mentioned, is Yogg. So this one is a Yogg clear. And I'll just show you the oops. My bad. Skip. I'll just show you the team, or attempt to. It's very small. I don't want to leave I don't feel like leaving the screen or going to my full-size screen. But it is a Yogg, an Ideal, and some Hakus. The Hakus I don't think are necessary for anything exactly. I don't think the Hakus are necessary. The act skill isn't used for anything. Maybe for the TPAs. The Ideal though, the Ideal is a better option than Prowley and the Ney teams. I think I just saved the Prowley ones because I don't have an Ideal. A lot of people don't. So you can use Prowley instead, or Ideal is a better option for the Ney team. So this is a Yogg team example. And I think the last one I want to show I don't have an actual link for, but I'm going to look for it. There should be a King Brachy's video. Let me see. I think it might be this one. Yes. Diablos X King Brachy's. And again, you know what? I'm going to switch to my other system so you can see. There we go. So let me pause and explain this team. One thing I can't actually, let's explain this team a little bit. I actually don't know why the Leglante is in there. I'm pretty sure it's in there. I'm pretty sure it has a God Killer. Is that not Leglante? What is that called? Gil's Legato. Gil's Legato. It's probably in there for a God Killer, I think it has, as I recall. Yeah, it can get Super Awakening for God Killer, so it's probably his double God Killer option. As you can see, he's running Diablos again, X King Brachy's, but this is the Flower Dragon King Brachy's. It's the one that you need Buto to evolve. In case you were not aware, it is a combo-based leader who it increases attack for wood monsters, and it's combo-based as well, and it has a 10C awakening. So it's basically a combo-based leader that uses woods, and it's unbindable, which is nice. I should make one. By the way, a great place to get a King Brachy's if you want to try this strategy is the Soul and Manny dungeon that is still going to be out for the next a little bit longer than 24 hours. So I would recommend that. It drops. I got a lot of King Brachy's from those dungeons. What else? Or not King Brachy's. I got Brachy's from that dungeon. Now the other monsters, this person, as you're gonna see, is actually going for a full poison resist strategy. So he's not going to try to pray for Heart Skyfalls. He's just going to resist because Bastet and Sartobi Sasuke have base poison resist on their base forms, so they can resist the poison. The Cronus is there, I'm sure, for damage. The Gil's Legato, I'm not sure why it's there. I don't know why he brought that. Oh, you know what? He probably bought it for the last floor. Let's skip ahead. I'm pretty sure he brought the Gil's Legato for the last floor, so he can do light damage with God Killers, because maybe Cronus isn't enough. So the rest of the floor is all just matching. Oh, Bastet came up. So she's only a 4-turn cooldown, so she does come up in time to use her, although I don't think he does. He probably wastes cycles, as does Sartobi Sasuke. So he resists the poisons, and I'm gonna guess he brought the Gil's Legato for the God killing. I'm actually not fully sure. That would be my guess. And this team, as you can see, is not one of those subless teams. You can run full sub and still do well. Yeah, so it's probably for the killers. So those, I think, are the 3 team options. I do want to show you, just to prove that it is a thing, that people do run... Oh, I forgot. There's this other one. This person is running Riser. A Riser team. And other things you can bring for poison resist, he is bringing Cronus again, which, you know, 7C. Riser, not everyone would have. I don't know if too many people are rolling in the Gungho tournament or Gungho machine, which is out right now. The Puzz Droid is another great option for poison resist. You can, yeah, you can bring the Puzz Droid or, you know, whatever combination of monsters you want to do the full poison resist strategy. There is one more strategy. Oh, here's one. Yeah. It's not, I just want to show that people do use Ideal. And most of the videos, I think, when I was doing my research, did use Ideal instead of Praline. Maybe it's more consistent with the damage overall than Praline is. That's probably the case. And then it's another Prey match. He will get a hard Skyfall, or there it is. And then big heals. So, I'm going to pause those here. As in terms of what I'm going to use, and I'm going to hop back to the Facebook page. In terms of what I'm going to use, I could probably do either, you know, I do have a Nay or two. I might devolve my Nay, my blue Nay, because I don't use her that much these days. I don't really reach for my blue Sonya team too much. I'm usually using my green. So I might devolve my Nay, or I might try with this Brackies. The Brackies is probably the cheaper option. Shouldn't be too hard to evolve one, and I have a number of them now, so that should be okay. I do have Puzz Droid, and I do have a reincarnated Bastet, so I can do the poison resisting strategy, and that actually, thinking about it, might be the best approach. And I do own a Cronus now, so I could probably make a pretty good Brackies team. So you know what, I might do that. I might do that. Yeah, so that's this tournament. Good luck. I think it's going to be pretty difficult overall, just because getting past that first floor might take you a few times if you're not doing the poison resist strategy. If I could, I think I would. If I really want to, I could do the base Nay strategy, but I don't know. That seems like a lot of stamina. And I'm also not that good at comboing, so I may as well go with the cheaper, easier, less wasteful option, which for me might be the King Brackies way. King Brackies x Diablos, would subs, do the poison resist with Bastet, Puzz Droid, whatever. King Brackies also has a time extension component to his leader skill, so there's that. You could probably even, you know, do the King Brackies way and not resist the poison if you wanted to. He does have a recovery ×2 for wood attributes, which I'm not entirely sure, but it might be enough to, with one hard Skyfall, to save yourself from all the mortal poisons. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show you. In terms of the very first floor, if you're not doing poison resist strategy, you could either match the poisons normally, like in like a vertical manner with the mortal poisons, which is like poison, 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 and then big blob of greens on either side. There is this one pattern, this one matching pattern that people like to use, which I think was in this team, which I forgot to show, or in this video. Let's see if we can show it off here. So it's basically, how do I, too far. Gotta pause real quick. So he basically, you know what? Playback speed. Let's go for a nice 0.5 playback speed. So the perfect pattern, and you might want to screenshot, is you make Bam like this. Go back. You make, this is almost it. This isn't quite it. Those three at the bottom should be over one. There we go. You make this pattern with your poisons, so the 3, 3, and 3 like this. I don't know how to explain it properly. Just do this, and then there's a specific pass-through pattern that he does. And then it cascades perfectly into, I believe, 12 combos? 11 combos. It guarantees 11 combos. Where normally if you kind of match your poisons just like in a row, it would be 1, 2, 3, I don't know. Not very many combos. Maybe like 8 or something. So that's a pattern you could learn. Just go find a video where they do this. and then like play it over and over again. I actually did learn this pattern for fun, but I'm probably not going to use it. So do your best if you're going to do this way. Yeah, so that's the matching pattern for getting the most combos out of that board. So that's it for Gungho Collab Tournament 2. Let me know what leader you plan on using for this, or team. Again, I'm probably going to do King Brackies. I decided mid-video. I think I was actually going to do the name before this, but I was like, you know what, let's just do King Brackies. Good luck. It'll be a little hard, but I believe in you. I'm definitely not going for the crown on this one. This is definitely one that's way too hard for me to do a crown for. But get yourself a Flower Dragon Brackies now while Soul Manny is still around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.